Some trucks don't flinch at heavy loads, they devour them. These beasts were built for the impossible, towing weights so massive, hauling loads so unreal, that ordinary trucks wouldn't even dare try. From industrial giants to military powerhouses and record-breaking torque machines, these trucks don't pull trailers. They could tow a mountain. Get ready for the 10 trucks that could tow a mountain. Raw strength, unmatched engineering, and horsepower that laughs at limits. Number 1. Berliet TR 350, 1974. In the mid-1970s, French manufacturer Berliet stunned the world with a heavy truck that looked and performed like nothing else on the road. The Berliet TR 350, built for one purpose, to dominate the most punishing terrains on Earth. This truck became a legend among long-haul drivers across North Africa and the Middle East. The TR 350 was powered by the mighty Cummins NTC 350 diesel engine, delivering an impressive 350 horsepower and over 1,300 lb-foot of torque. For the 1970s, that kind of pulling power was extraordinary. The engine's robustness was matched with a fuller 13-speed gearbox, allowing the driver to manage torque precisely across every climb and descent. But what made the TR 350 remarkable was its durability in extreme heat. It was engineered to work in desert temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. Berliet's designers created an oversized cooling system and air filtration setup capable of operating flawlessly in dusty, hot environments. This made the TR 350 the preferred hauler for trans-Saharan oil convoys and desert construction projects where failure wasn't an option. The truck's reinforced double-frame chassis allowed it to tow astonishingly heavy trailers, sometimes exceeding 150,000 pounds of cargo across terrain that would cripple ordinary trucks. Its high ground clearance and rugged suspension gave it unmatched off-road ability for such a massive machine. Visually, it was as intimidating as it was powerful. The huge radiator grille, boxy cab, and wide stance made it look like a military tank disguised as a truck. Drivers in Algeria, Niger, and Libya called it the Mountain Ox because once the TR 350 started climbing, it simply didn't stop. In a world before digital systems, the Berliet TR 350 proved that raw diesel torque and mechanical precision could conquer both dunes and mountains alike. It was a mechanical gladiator, born in France, but built to rule the desert. Number 2. Fiat 690 N4, 1970. Italy's Fiat 690 N4 wasn't just a truck, it was a force of nature. Introduced in 1970, it was the Italian response to Europe's demand for heavy-duty multi-axle powerhouses that could pull immense loads through mountainous regions like the Alps. The 690 N4 came with a 17.2-liter inline-six diesel engine, producing around 330 horsepower and close to 1,100 lb-feet of torque. But its genius lay in its 6x4 or 8x4 drivetrain configurations, which gave it unbeatable traction and load-carrying ability on steep, winding mountain roads. Fiat engineers focused on optimizing torque delivery, designing a powertrain that could maintain speed even under crushing loads. Its 16-speed ZEV transmission allowed drivers to fine-tune power output for any terrain, giving the 690 N4 the ability to tow over 150 tons in special heavy-haul setups. The truck's dual reduction axles and massive drum brakes made it one of the safest and most reliable heavy haulers of its decade. Its suspension system was engineered for strength rather than comfort. Thick leaf springs and reinforced steel bushings absorbed punishment from uneven terrain without complaint. In Italy and across Europe, it became a favorite among quarry operators, logging fleets, and transport companies moving heavy industrial loads. Drivers loved its stability and predictability. Once you knew how to handle its bulk, the 690 N4 felt unstoppable. The cab design was simple and functional, with large visibility windows and a commanding seating position. Despite lacking modern comforts, it was a favorite for drivers who valued reliability over luxury. By the late 1970s, the Fiat 690 N4 had earned legendary status. It was a truck built from pure industrial grit, capable of towing impossible loads up twisting alpine passes, a true iron mountain mover from the heart of Italy's golden truck era. Number 3. Magirus-Deutz 340-22, 1975. Germany's Magirus-Deutz 340 D22 from the mid-1970s is one of those machines that looked intimidating even when parked. Built during the height of Magirus-Deutz's dominance in heavy industry, the 340 D22 was renowned for its air-cooled diesel power, brute strength, and ability to endure anything from mountain climbs to scorching deserts. The truck was powered by a Deutz V8 air-cooled diesel engine, producing 340 horsepower and an impressive 1,1200 lb. The engine's air cooling design eliminated the need for radiators, which made it nearly indestructible in hot, remote conditions where water-cooled engines often failed. Paired with a ZF 16-speed gearbox, the 340 D22 could pull loads exceeding 130,000 pounds without hesitation. Its dual-drive axles and locking differentials provided exceptional grip on gravel roads and steep mountain passes, making it ideal for construction, oilfield transport, and military operations. The truck's signature feature was its distinctive roaring sound. The Deutz V8 had a ferocious growl that echoed through valleys and work sites. Many drivers said you could hear a Magirus coming long before you saw it. Magirus engineers also focused heavily on chassis strength. The frame was constructed using reinforced steel beams, and the suspension used massive multi-leaf springs to distribute stress evenly under colossal loads. This was a truck that could work 20 hours a day without complaint. Despite being a rugged hauler, the 340 D22's cab was relatively modern, with ergonomic seating and excellent forward visibility. It wasn't luxurious, but it gave the driver confidence. Every gauge, every control was placed for precision operation. In the mountains of Austria, Germany, and Turkey, the Magirus 340 D22 became a legend. It wasn't pretty, but it was powerful. A mechanical warhorse that could haul stone, steel, or an entire hillside without flinching. It was a true child of German engineering, functional, unstoppable, and built to outlast the mountain itself. Number 4. Saurer D330, 1970. If any country knew how to build a truck that could climb, it was Switzerland, and the Saurer D330 proved it beyond doubt. Introduced in 1970, the D330 was engineered specifically for mountain transport and extreme-grade hauling, especially in the Alps. The truck was powered by Saurer's in-house D338 inline-6 turbo diesel engine, producing 330 horsepower and an earth-moving 1,350 lb-ft of torque. What set the D330 apart was its all-wheel drive system, which gave it unmatched climbing ability on icy or uneven terrain. Built on a reinforced steel ladder chassis, it could tow loads over 120,000 pounds, even through winding mountain passes. Saurer's legendary engine braking and torque management systems made it ideal for heavy descent control, a must for Swiss operators working on steep roads. The D330's dual-range transfer case allowed drivers to switch seamlessly between road and off-road performance, making it equally capable on highways and rocky inclines. Its high-clearance axles and rugged suspension were designed for quarry work and military hauling, but civilian haulers quickly discovered its potential for heavy freight. What truly made the D330 iconic, however, was its engineering precision. Everything on this truck, from its gear ratios to its cooling system, was designed to handle extremes. The truck's braking system used massive air-assisted drums that could slow down a fully loaded rig even on an alpine descent. Despite its industrial toughness, the cab was surprisingly well designed. It offered panoramic visibility and a quiet interior, helping drivers maintain focus during long, treacherous climbs. The Saurer D330 remains a beloved figure in European trucking history. It was the kind of truck that laughed at gravity, a mountain goat made of steel and diesel. Even today, restored D330s are known to pull absurd loads, living proof that Switzerland once built a truck capable of dragging the Alps themselves uphill. Number 5. Pegaso Troner 360T, 1979. In the late 1970s, Spanish truck maker Pegaso unveiled one of the most advanced European heavy trucks of its era, the Pegaso Troner 360T. Built with both performance and endurance in mind, this was Spain's answer to Scania and Mercedes-Benz, and it delivered enough torque to make even mountain roads tremble. The Troner 360T was equipped with a 12.8-liter turbocharged diesel engine, producing 360 horsepower and roughly 1,050 lb-ft of torque. The engine was paired with a ZEF 16-speed gearbox, giving it smooth power delivery and the flexibility needed for long-distance or mountain hauling. Pegaso designed the Troner's chassis for extreme load stability, using a double-reinforced frame and adjustable suspension to adapt to different hauling scenarios. Its traction system allowed it to maintain full pulling strength on uneven ground, making it a favorite for construction, military, and mining transport. One of the Troner's standout features was its aerodynamic cab design, years ahead of its time. It was wind tunnel tested, something almost no Spanish manufacturer had ever attempted. Inside, drivers found a surprisingly modern layout with climate control, soundproofing, and comfortable sleeper bunks, setting a new standard for Iberian trucking comfort. On the road, the Troner's performance was astonishing. Drivers often described its pulling ability as endless, capable of dragging massive trailers through the Pyrenees without losing momentum. Though Pegaso never achieved the global fame of Scania or Mercedes, the Troner 360T remains a forgotten gem of European truck design. It was fast, powerful, and dependable, a Spanish bull in mechanical form, capable of towing a mountain and roaring all the way to the top. Number 6. Brockway 361, 1973. In an age when Kenworth and Peterbilt dominated the American highways, there was another name quietly earning legendary respect among serious haulers, Brockway. Their 361 model, built through the early 1970s, was a truck that didn't rely on flash or fame. It was built purely for muscle, endurance, and mechanical dominance. The Brockway 361 was typically equipped with engines like the Cummins NTC 350, Detroit Diesel 8V71, or the mighty Caterpillar 6093 TA. With these power plants, the truck could easily produce between 350 to 425 horsepower and over 1,300 lb-ft of torque. That might sound tame by today's numbers, but in the 1970s, that kind of torque was what separated mountain climbers from road crawlers. The 361's reinforced double frame and heavy-duty suspension system made it a natural choice for logging, mining, and heavy equipment transport. It wasn't designed for speed, it was designed for brute endurance. With its fuller 13 and 18-speed transmissions, drivers could control every ounce of torque precisely, keeping the truck crawling confidently up steep grades without overheating or losing traction. Unlike its more glamorous competitors, Brockway trucks were built almost entirely by hand in Cortland, New York. This gave them a reputation for custom craftsmanship and indestructibility. Many 361s were built to specific customer requirements, meaning no two were exactly alike. Each was a mountain hauling machine tailored for its driver's world. The cab was simple but functional, giving drivers clear visibility and an ergonomic layout long before ergonomics was even a trucking buzzword. Inside, it was all steel and determination, no frills, just reliability. Unfortunately, Brockway's parent company Mack Trucks shut down the brand in 1977, but the 361 lived on as a legend among truckers who remembered its incredible torque and resilience. Even decades later, many Brockways are still seen in heavy haul and restoration circles, a true iron beast that could climb any mountain and make it look effortless. The Brockway 361 wasn't famous, it was feared. Quietly, it towed mountains long before others claimed to. Number 7. Renault KB 340, 1976. In 1976, long before Renault's Magnum trucks became a European symbol of strength, the French manufacturer produced one of its most underappreciated heavy haulers, the Renault KB 340. A machine built to combine power, simplicity, and sheer endurance, it was designed for the most demanding routes across Europe and North Africa. The KB 340 was powered by a 12-liter turbocharged diesel engine, delivering 340 horsepower and an impressive 1,025 lb of torque. Renault's engineers worked closely with Berliet, which would soon merge with Renault trucks, to develop a powertrain that could endure long distances with minimal maintenance. Its ZF16 speed gearbox gave drivers full control over its torque band, allowing seamless transitions even under extreme loads. The truck's double-reinforced steel frame and twin-drive axles gave it unmatched strength for its class. Operators often praised the KB340 for its pulling power and stability when hauling 120,000-pound trailers across mountainous or uneven routes. The cab was ergonomically ahead of its time, with high-mounted seats for visibility, easy-to-reach controls, and air-assisted clutching that reduced fatigue. Renault engineers also paid attention to comfort, introducing better insulation, heating systems, and optional air suspension seats. In practice, the KB340 excelled in industries like oil field transport and cross-border logistics. Its torque delivery was smooth and relentless, which made it perfect for climbing the Pyrenees or the Moroccan Atlas Mountains, routes that pushed lesser trucks to their limits. The KB340's design was bold and boxy, reflecting the industrial style of the decade. Its broad front grille and powerful stance gave it a commanding presence. Though overshadowed by Renault's later Magnum series, the KB340 remains one of the unsung heroes of European heavy haulage. It was a truck that embodied the essence of French engineering: practical, powerful, and patient. A machine built not for luxury, but for conquering gravity with grace. Number 8. Tatra T813 8x8 1970. If one truck from the 1970s truly deserved the title Mountain Conqueror, it was the Tatra T813 8x8, a beast so overbuilt that even modern off-road haulers struggle to match its raw capability. Designed in Czechoslovakia, the T813 was a military and industrial truck that blurred the line between road and tank. At its heart was a Tatra 17.6-liter air-cooled V12 diesel engine, producing 360 horsepower and an astonishing 1,300 lb-ft of torque. But the numbers don't tell the full story. The engine's layout and torque curve gave it almost immediate pulling power, capable of dragging loads over 180,000 pounds, even on loose terrain. The T813's greatest advantage was its unique Tatra backbone chassis, a revolutionary design where the central tube housed the driveshaft and protected it from damage. This system, combined with independent swinging half-axles, gave the truck extraordinary off-road performance and traction. The 8x8 configuration ensured that all wheels contributed to movement, meaning it could climb slopes exceeding 50 degrees, terrains that would defeat most modern trucks. Used extensively by the Czech military, construction firms, and oil exploration companies, the T813 could haul tanks, bridges, or fully loaded trailers through mud, snow, and mountains. It didn't just tow loads, it pulled landscapes. Despite its brutal nature, the T813's engineering was elegant. Its air-cooled engine allowed it to operate in Arctic cold or desert heat without failure. Maintenance was simple, and parts were designed for quick replacement even in field conditions. The cab was Spartan but functional, with clear instrument panels and armored-like build quality. It wasn't comfortable, but it gave drivers the feeling of invincibility, as if nothing could stop it. The Tatra T813 remains a legend in heavy transport history. It's not just a truck, it's a mountain-moving machine, a mechanical force of nature that embodied the philosophy: if it moves, it can be hauled. Number 9. White Road Commander 2, 1973. In 1973, White Motor Company introduced one of its most iconic and powerful rigs, the White Road Commander 2, a truck that quickly gained respect among heavy-haul operators across North America. Built with a perfect mix of brawn and refinement, it was among the few cabovers that could truly tow a mountain. Equipped with the Cummins NTC 400 Big Cam or the Detroit Diesel 12071, the Road Commander 2 could generate up to 450 horsepower and a crushing 1,500 lb-ft of torque. These engines were paired with fuller 15 or 18-speed transmissions, allowing unmatched torque control for steep grades and long hauls. The truck's all-aluminum cab kept weight low, maximizing payload capacity while maintaining structural rigidity. Its dual reduction rear axles and heavy-duty suspension made it equally capable in mountainous regions or industrial hauling. Operators loved the Road Commander 2 for its stability and smooth handling, a result of White's innovative chassis design and near-perfect weight distribution. Whether climbing the Rockies or hauling industrial loads through Appalachia, the truck performed with relentless determination. Inside, the cab offered features rarely seen in 1970s American trucks: insulation, air suspension seats, and spacious sleeping quarters. It wasn't just powerful, it was comfortable too. Despite White's eventual financial struggles, the Road Commander II became one of the decade's greatest highway performers. Many are still running today, restored by enthusiasts who appreciate their classic design and indestructible drivetrains. The White Road Commander II remains a symbol of an era when American engineering was at its toughest, a truck that didn't rely on technology, just torque, steel, and skill. If mountains had egos, this was the truck that humbled them. Number 10. AEC Mammoth Major 8 MK5 1971. While American and European trucks of the 1970s often stole the spotlight, Britain's AEC Mammoth Major 8 MK5 stood quietly as one of the most capable heavy haulers ever built. Produced by Associated Equipment Company AEC in 1971, this 8-wheeled titan was the pride of British engineering, capable of towing loads that seemed impossible for its time. The Mammoth Major 8 was powered by the AEC AVT 690 turbo diesel engine, a 12.4-liter inline-six producing 320 horsepower and 1200 lb-ft of torque. It might not sound extreme on paper, but combined with its 8x4 drivetrain, it delivered unstoppable traction and power. This truck was a workhorse for Britain's toughest industries: mining, construction, and long-haul freight. The double-drive rear bogies and robust chassis were built to handle payloads exceeding 130,000 pounds, while its 8-speed constant mesh transmission allowed drivers to climb steep British hills and quarry slopes without strain. The Mammoth Major earned a reputation as the truck that could pull London, thanks to its torque-heavy engine and indomitable frame. Its massive cooling system and reinforced braking setup made it ideal for the stop-and-go grind of industrial hauling. The cab design was pure function, minimal comfort, maximum durability. The view from the tall driver's seat made operators feel like they were piloting a ship rather than driving a truck. Though production of AEC trucks ended by the late 70s, the Mammoth Major 8 left behind an unforgettable legacy. Many served decades in quarries and heavy haulage companies, proving that British steel could stand shoulder to shoulder with any global powerhouse. The Mammoth Major 8 wasn't flashy or fast, but it had one defining quality: it simply didn't quit. When it came to towing mountains, this British brute did it with quiet confidence and sheer mechanical willpower. Those weren't just trucks. They were force-of-nature machines built to move the impossible. Which one earned the crown of the mountain towing king? Tell me in the comments. If you love extreme power, legendary trucks, and machines that crush limits every single day, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because there are even bigger beasts coming next. Thanks for watching. And remember, strength isn't measured by the road you travel, but by the mountains you can pull.